right, let me turn the music off and let me get over here. First of all, I want to say welcome to the Gaming Den. Like, subscribe. You can support the channel financially by becoming a member. You'll see the member's name scrolling across the bottom. I don't know why I went to like the game show announcer. Anyways, the Kipling's Lounge, Isu226, Josh Ayers Gaming, Grindhouse Jez7780, GMG, the Retro Gamer Guy, Stephen Leon, also known as Dritz1971, Cosmic Hero 270, El Nini 2796, RPG88. It's just HenriHeck. Those are the den mates currently for the channel, and so yeah, really appreciate those guys. They help support my gaming habit, so truly appreciate that. And, yeah, with that, you too can become that if you want to hit that join button, do all the things. You can also do the thing for free, which is just hitting the like button and sharing it out. With that being said, we do have a humdinger of a show tonight. Holy crap. Jez is already in the chat asking, who the heck is Helix for? And, well, that's a great question to ask. We might be answering that one tonight. Also, we have Hero Down Under in the chat. He said, if I put my Apple Watch in analog mode, is it an analog watch or is it digital? If I put ham in between two slices of bread, is it a burger or a sandwich? The better one is a hot dog, a sandwich. If I put propellers on a plane, is it a helicopter or a plane? You can answer your questions on the show. Holy crap. Denning and mating. Who is Helix? What is Helix? How is Helix is the real question. So no, we will be talking about Project Helix tonight. Here are, I didn't put these up last week because I did not have them ready in time. But here they are this week. We're also going to be talking about dynamic pricing. This is some bullshit. And so we are going to be talking about this. We're going to be discussing what is going on with PlayStation. Why are they doing dynamic pricing now? Why is this a thing? Apparently, also we're going to be talking about how we probably shouldn't use the defense that Xbox has been doing this since 2023 as a reason why it's okay for PlayStation to do this. Last time I checked, they're in last place. We probably shouldn't use them as a reason for this, for PlayStation to do dumb shit. Like, just going to talk about that. The other two guys may have a totally different opinion than me, but we're going to get Helix, how are you? Is coffee a soup? Well, is water wet? I actually don't want to have that conversation. I feel like I have a couple folks on the pod who may actually like to have that conversation. Epic is charging more for V-Bucks. Now, this one, I saw it and I went, ooh, greedy, disgusting, nasty company. Then I read the article. And then I went, ew, greedy, disgusting, nasty company that my kids, friends, parents are paying for the Epic Game Store? Like, so we're going to discuss that a bit, because if you actually look at the article, and if you want to, you can go check out the articles. I have them all posted in the Discord, and you can go check them out there. They're under Thrifty's content. But in the article, it actually talks about how the Fortnite makes a ton of money every year. It's doing great, but the Epic Game Store is struggling. So, discussing that raise in price. And then we do have some good news. The PlayStation Plus catalog for March, for PlayStation Plus Extra, nobody cares about Premium, it is out now, like what games are going to be in there, and it's a pretty damn good list. And so we got some bad news for PlayStation, we got some good news for PlayStation, we got some stuff about Epic, which if you know me, I don't usually cover Epic or Fortnite because I don't know jack shit about it. But this I thought was interesting, and I'm always ready to take shots at companies that charge an exuberant amounts of money, or they tend to prey on the little ones of our gaming community. And I feel like this does, and I don't like that. So we're going to discuss this. But yeah, that is it. And with that, y'all have heard me talk enough. I am going to bring on the panel members, the guests, the friends of the channel, the gamers, as it were. Can't really have a gaming den without gamers. And speaking of that, how are y'all two doing tonight?
Excellent.
Nice.
Good, man.
So wonderful.
Nice. So we'll just start with Logic, man. It's been a couple weeks, I think, maybe more since I've had you on the show. Uh,
Been over a month.
it's been over a month. Oh my
That's
gosh!
why I reached out, because I said I
Holy
was going to
crap!
try and. I told myself I was going to try and come on once a month, and then I was like, oh, wait a second, did I not do it in February?
it's really my fault, because I just haven't I haven't sent out my schedule, so it's really just my fault. But
That's all good, man.
what have you been playing lately?
I'll be quick because I don't think I've been playing anything that people really want to talk about. I mean, I'm coming off of, putting some time in on Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Resident Evil Requiem, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I kind of needed to take a break from those things this week, and so this week I've been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, and or something else I've been playing, Elden Ring, and I can't remember the third thing right off the top of my head, but something on PC. But yeah, I kind of needed to go back and hit some other things to kind of let my hair down, so to speak, and
Nice.
take a break. So I've been going back and hitting those before maybe I flip back to some of the other story-based stuff.
Nice, man. And Henry,
Yes, sir.
I think I know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
what game have you
Yeah.
been playing?
I have been playing Marathon. Of course. Surprise, surprise, everybody. That's what I've been on.
Hey, if
but
you
I've
go
been
check out
playing-
Henry's X page, you will see that he puts on their games as a service enthusiast. Like
Yes, it's on there.
he likes
on there.
this. He likes these.
It's my pleasure, as a matter of fact. But I have been playing some other stuff, though. I played, Assassin's Creed Unity got an update, so I had checked that out on Saturday. Put about 2 hours into that, and then I came right back home to Marathon. And then the homies on the Just Playing Tuesdays live stream, me and Will and RPG88, we checked out the Ghost of Yotei Legends mode. We checked that out yesterday, and we played survival mode because the campaign on there is only 2-player. I wish it was at least 3, but whatever. I mean, that's the decision they made, so we had to settle for that. But RPG and I stayed on for like another 15 minutes and did one of the campaign missions, and it was cool. It was, in my opinion, better than the survival mode, but we were under leveled, because you do your leveling up inside the campaign. So it was super tough in the beginning because we were under leveled, but in progressing through it, you do get upgrades. So if you suffer long enough, then you'll get better equipment to you'll fare a little bit better. But that's pretty much what I've been playing. I'm on Marathon right now, as a matter of fact. I'm back home.
You're like, I'm actually in the game right now. So
Yeah,
if we
bro.
hear you cussing or like spitting or throwing a
Nah,
fit,
I
we
won't
know
cuss.
why.
I won't be doing none of that. I keep my composure,
Oh man, a buddy of mine said it's pretty daggum sweaty.
bruh. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you,
Listen.
it is rough, and people have gotten good pretty quickly, and you got a lot of people coming over from the Destiny 2 PvP, and me and Will, we were playing. It was either Saturday. It was Saturday. No, it might have been Sunday, but it was like we were coming up against legitimate hit squads. We ain't standing a chance. We already like running, just duos, and it's teams of 3. So we were already underpowered, so that you could say. But like Friday, we were doing pretty good. Saturday we was doing pretty good, but Sunday it was just different. It was like, I don't know, like everybody came back from Sunday school with a new energy. We was getting put through the mattress, bro. It was rough. It was rough. I think we played. I want to say we played for like 4 hours. We probably only extracted twice.
So the thing
All
was,
the
is the
time.
sermon that morning everywhere must have been on running the race well, and it
Man.
made people think about Marathon. And they was like, dude, I gotta go home. I gotta go home.
Yeah.
The pastor said, run the race. I gotta go.
It was an excellent word that morning. Excellent.
Oh
We
man.
couldn't do nothing.
Well, so now you play Destiny as well, correct?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. I don't play anymore.
Sure. How is it completely different, or do you see the Destiny like model bleed through at all?
Oh nah, you can. It is different, but you can tell. You know, what I mean, it's Bungie. You know, a lot of the weapons are similar. A lot of the abilities you can tell come from similar ideas from Destiny. It feels like it. It's just the application is different. You know, you can tell the same people made it, but it makes sense also to why it's a different art style. Because if they used that art style, people would have just been like, well, this could have just been a mode in Destiny. And I it's kind of hard to explain. It feels like Destiny, but if you ain't never played Destiny, then you wouldn't know. I just say that
That's
because
fair.
I can't really. The movement is similar. The gunplay is similar. The feel of the guns are similar. The only difference is the abilities. That's different. But the abilities even similar. So I can't even say that because even you got the assassin type, which can go invisible and do smoke bombs. It's a subclass for the hunter that can go invisible and do smoke bombs. Then the destroyer shell, the titan in Destiny can do a shield. The destroyer shell can do a shield, and it's I, it's similar, bro. That's all I can say. It's real similar.
Okay. Okay, see, the guy who I was telling you about the other day, he had never played a single bit of Destiny. He said he could never get into it, just wasn't his thing. He never even was like drawn to that. But Arc Raiders got him hooked on extraction shooters, and so he wanted
Right
to
on.
play Marathon. And he
Right
said,
on.
he goes, man, I haven't touched Arc Raiders since. He was like, I just can't. Like, he goes, when I'm not at work. He goes, no. He goes, when I'm not playing, I'm at work. When we're slow at work, I'm watching videos about Marathon.
Oh yeah,
So
it's
like,
hooked in. That's how I do though. It will get you like that.
he is definitely in it to win it on this. And so that's when I was like, man, I was so glad I was having you on tonight because
Yeah, bro. It's
I knew you were in it. So Logic,
super
what
good
about you,
game.
man? Did you play this at all?
What's that, Marathon?
Yep.
No. No,
No.
I haven't.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. I'm just playing.
Now we're gatekeeping.
Yeah,
Now we're doing
I'm joking.
everything. All right.
I'm playing.
That's funny. That's-
No, and not out of entire lack of interest. I will say that is what caused me to drop some of the story stuff I was in and go back to
oh shit.
just games that I play for the mechanics. The other thing I've been playing about, incidentally, is Dynasty Warriors Origin on Steam Deck.
Oh, bless your soul.
Yeah, I seen your picture on X where you was talking about on the go. I seen that.
Yeah. Um,
At
it was
Mirko.
it's actually
What's up,
it's
dude?
actually because it's actually because I was listening to two of the podcasts I listened to in the beginning of the week were talking about Marathon, and that's what kind of gave me the itch because before, I mean, for 7 years or so I was like a gas PvP type of gamer.
Yes,
Um,
sir. I like
and I
how
tried
that
to-
sound.
and I tried to turn the corner and like pick up some of the story stuff, and I played a Trails game at the beginning of this year, but yeah, listening to people talk about Marathon, that gave me the itch. So I mean, getting back into PvP is on my carousel of stuff. I just haven't gotten back to it yet. And yes, Marathon may be something that I eventually check out.
Honestly, dude, I'll be dead honest with both of y'all. I was this close, and you can't see because I don't have a camera, but I was so freaking close to getting this damn game. And then I remembered the $40 that I spent on Arc Raiders that I will never get back in my
Yeah.
life. And I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to sit my happy ass in my lane, and I'm not going to move. And I got 3 games that are coming out within the next 3 months that I'm there for. And I'll be happy with those. I carried my happy ass back to Night City.
Did you drop Arc Raiders?
I dropped that damn thing like a bad habit when the PvP became outrageous. I ain't in there to fight against the Arc and against people. Screw that crap.
So I thought they had made some changes that made it.
They did, and then 2 weeks later, when I was about to download it again, a story came out that morning that the PvE lobbies weren't actually working, and it had seemed like they backed off of it. So
back to seal clubbing, huh?
I was just I'm out. I don't like that. I don't want that. I love co-op like games. I love playing with a team. Yes, awesome. I do not like playing with a team going against other teams.
Mm.
Yeah. So but you're not a Helldivers person.
No, not really. I put about 12 to 20 hours into. No, I think it was 20. That's hell. I got that shit somewhere. But no, not really. Mainly because I suck at that game. Like the controls in that game, I don't understand them. Like I bought it, yeah. I played it. Jez, infamous footage now of me getting left in a chopper, or left by the chopper and getting killed on the planet because I couldn't get in the damn thing quick enough because I kept making the wrong moves. Like I sucked at that game, and I don't like to fool with games long enough to have to continually try to remember them. And
okay.
Like. So one of the biggest things about me is when I play a shooter, I want all the buttons in the same fucking spot. Like I have gotten so used to my L1 or my R1 button in a shooter. Guess what? That's my grenade. My L1, that's my smoke bomb. You aim with left trigger, shoot with right trigger. Like there's certain things that I expect, and when those aren't there, it throws me off. And I never had to be honest, I never had a consistent play group because I would try to pepper in nights of playing, but other folks were getting so far ahead of me because I don't play them often enough. I'm in a story-based game most nights that I'm gaming. And well, that works when you hit level 30 on Helldivers. It hurts, or it doesn't work though when you're still level 5, level 10, and you're playing with other people who have already done all the stuff, and you're like, that's kind of cool. I feel like I'm being carried by the entire team. Oh wait, it's because you are. Oh, that's
a win though.
Yeah. It's not, because I'm sitting there like I'm just getting dragged through the game. And so one last thing on this. I don't mean to keep talking, but one last thing on this. I was the younger brother, always, okay? And that feeling of being carried along by somebody because you're their friend, or you're their this, or you're their that, I hate that feeling. I do not like to be the person that has to be carried, ever. And Helldivers was just everybody carrying me. And
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And so that wasn't fun. And so no, I played it, I enjoyed it, they got my money, but I also left it. But anyways, what about y'all? What are y'all playing in the chat? Go ahead and drop it down there. Maybe we'll circle back to this and talk about them. So there was a lot of chatter over the week. Oh shit! I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077. I'm almost done with Act 2.
Good game.
I have also been playing the Ninja Turtles game again with my child. Because, fun fact, that game still slaps. And the way that .mu did that game was absolute perfect. It was amazing. And so, anyways, it's we've been playing that, and I will tell you this: Cyberpunk 2077 has me to the point of I'm to the point now where I'm getting annoyed, and I'm getting annoyed like I would get annoyed when I watched The Flash. Everything throughout the whole season would freaking build up for 8 damn episodes. Almost like watching Dragon Ball Z. everything builds up for 8 episodes, and you're like, oh my god, I just need the payoff. I need one of the storylines to close. Like, I don't care if it's the one with Takamura. That's not the guy's name. But y'all know who I'm talking about when I say that. I need the one with Judy to fully close. Because it's not on my board anymore because, like I said, I'm almost done with Act 2. But there's still more there. And so, like, the one with Pan Am is getting deep. Like, I need some stuff to start falling into place. And I cannot wait until I get to do that. I've been playing about 30 to 45 minutes a night in bed. Oh, thank God for the portal. I love that damn thing.
I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you.
I get about 30, 45 minutes on the couch. I start getting drowsy. I put the controller down, set it on the charger, go to my bed. Well, brush my teeth first. Then after I brush my teeth, I'm awake again. Go to bed, lay in bed for 30, 45 minutes, play some more, and go to sleep. It's a beautiful thing. So lovely.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Just watch out, because you might get popped in the mouth if you're falling asleep with the damn thing in your hand, and them bastards is heavy, and they hurt. So
They do got a little weight on them.
They really do. Wait. Commando Striker 304. That is a name that I have never seen in here. Welcome to the Gaming Den. Enjoy seeing you here. Corey Massey, what's up, dude? Helldivers was a wave. You had to be there for it to really get it. We can play. Josh said we can play some Helldivers. And then Xbox can now play World of Warcraft. Xbox can now play those modded GTA 6 RP servers. Xbox can now use PC mods for Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. So many benefits for the Xbox to go PC. The PS6 can't do it. And you won't be able to play Wolverine or Ghost of Yotai. You're welcome.
Damn.
I'll be able to play that Fallout, that Elder Scrolls. I'll be able to play every single one of your exclusives because so far that's the plan until it's not. Isn't that right, Asha AI? That's right, isn't it? That's the plan until it's not, right? Like, you came in here saying all this cool stuff, and I like it. It's great. That's awesome. As far as I know, you're just somebody here trying to troll the channel. That's great. I love it. But the games you mentioned are coming to PlayStation.
He's also going to pay twice as much for that Xbox as people will be playing for the PlayStation 6 SKUs that'll be available.
That's right. That is absolutely right. So, as a matter of fact, let's pause. Project Helix is in the house. Let's talk about something before we get to Project Helix. Let's talk about exclusives real quick. Let's talk about why we do shit. All right?
Thrifty, I just when you announced that we were going straight to that subject, I felt like you were like, you've called down the brimstone.
Like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Like, listen, I've had some pent-up aggression about the whole freaking exclusive conversation. And this lovely guy, Commando Striker 304, much love to you because you've done open the damn box. So, here's the deal. Exclusives are good. Exclusives are why I have a PS5. They're why I'm getting a PS6. They're why I have a Steam account. Yes, I said Steam. Guess what? Ruiner 2 is coming out. They've announced it.
Yes, sir.
It's coming out
Co-op.
for Steam. It's co-op?
Yeah, it's going to have co-op.
Oh, that's so exciting. Anyways. Sorry, that game is awesome.
Hey, bro. Ain't it?
But guess what? I can't play that day one on PlayStation. So guess where I'm going to play that bastard day one? Right on Steam. And it's going to be awesome. You know why? Because exclusives bring you to the marketplace. We want to talk about how these are games, and we want to talk about how it's all about the software, it's all about the games. Yes, and to the company, it's all about driving you to their platform. What is Xbox giving you to drive you to the platform? What is it? Is it Halo? I can do that. Is it Gears? I can do that. Forza? I can do that too. Fable? Nope. Can do that. It's very interesting. It's the old Michael Jordan commercial. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. It's very interesting. Logic. Henry. What do you think? Xbox right now has... Now, granted, it is the plan until it's not. But so far, the plan has been to bring their tentpole IPs over to PlayStation. They have now talked about a console that sounds... I'm a dumbass when it comes to computer talk, but it sounds great. If it does all the half the shit that they're saying it can do, that's awesome. At least it looks good on paper. Fantastic. But also they said they're not going to be doing really budget gaming anymore. It's going to be a higher priced item. So now you're saying that the games that you're making I can get elsewhere, and I have a higher priced item that you're going to want to play those on. So Henry, what kind of recipe, what do you think, how do I ask that question? With those two things in hand, what does the Xbox fan have to be excited about right now?
Not a thing. Excited to be lied to again. That's about it. Because, like, I thought all of them ran to PC anyway. So they already gonna be able to do everything it's gonna be able to do, or supposedly able to do. I'm kind of just waiting, and I would rather see them present it to me than just like looking at a slide. Cause I want to see what's the actual, not the actual point, but like what is this thing going to do for, I'm confused, bro.
What's the actual point? You said it.
It's like a Steam, it's like it's going to be a Steam machine, but Microsoft version of a Steam machine. And the thing, what would be interesting to see actually is its price point versus the GameCube price point. Because head to head, from what I've seen, the Steam Deck and what Valve is able to do with the Steam OS is just awesome. You really don't see too many people complaining about it versus the amount of people you see complaining about what Microsoft is presenting. And I think it's gonna have like with the Xbox mode or something, whatever it's gonna be. It's just how far along are they in the development of that to present that to the people, and the people purchase it and be confident in it. Because I hear Nate talk about the Windows stuff, and he don't ever sound impressed with it. And then you look online with people having issues, and it just seems like it seems like out the gate is just gonna be a flawed situation. And on top of the flawed operating system, it's gonna also be pretty expensive. So I don't know why, even as an Xbox fan, why would you even be excited for this? I would just stay on my Series X until I had the money to just go full PC, or PC enough to what I need. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, dude.
You can't even go full PC no more, unless you just hit the lottery or something.
Unless you just ballin'.
Yeah, you got that paper.
Hey, listen, OpenAI is claiming bankruptcy, so maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I don't know. And this again, and this too is out of my,
Yeah, it's out of mine too.
Because shout out to the Gamelogic. We got this brother on here. Every time I listen to one of his podcasts, I feel a fraction of a bit smarter.
Right. That's so true.
I learn a new word or two. I write that down in my notebook. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm eager to see what it looked like. I'm eager to see form factor and everything, and I'm also eager to see the price. That's my interest level as far as that. If they drop that joint in, it's $500. You know what I'm saying? We might be talking about something, but
it won't be.
I doubt it's gonna be that. I doubt it.
What's real crazy is you mentioned timeline, And Logic, I do want to hear your thoughts. Let me say this real quick. You mentioned timeline, and Jason Ronald said he thinks they'll be able to get the dev kits out early 2027, but they're going to be like a pre-dev kit almost, and it's not a full blown. It's going to be the first rendition of it just to get their hands on it. What did they call it? It's right here. Their alpha version. And so like that tells me this damn thing is
alpha version of a dev kit.
An alpha version of a dev kit. Mind you, devs usually get the dev kit 5 months usually before the actual system comes out, if not sooner. But they get these so they can start building on the hardware. See, this is what happens when you read the article before you do the show. You actually sound a little smarter than I actually am. But what they do is they give them the dev kits in alpha state so they can start working with the hardware. But my thing is, he said they're going to be bringing tools. Stop it! Like, there's some hot buttons that Xbox needs to tell their employees never to say. You got to find a different way to say you're learning. You got to find a different way to say, shit. Yeah, what I just said. Sorry, it left me. My brain's mush today, guys. Sorry. But, like, they have to get these guys to stop saying certain things. Like, and Jason Ronald, thanks to Jez, he can never say the words "I think" again without me hearing the song "I think." Like that. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. It's really far off. The timeline is where I was talking about before, and it seems like this is just a very, very bad attempt to keep them relevant. And all they've done is raise more questions. Logic, I'll kick it back over to you. What do you think about their strategy going forward?
I never have a problem with Xbox's strategy. I find that most of the time their strategies make sense. They are in a different competitive space. They have other concerns. They have other adjacencies right within Microsoft, things that it makes sense for them to leverage. I typically don't have a problem with their strategy. I have a problem with their execution. I have a bigger problem with their delivery, and I have an absolute disgust for their marketing, PR, and messaging. There's a lot of things from a strategic perspective that absolutely make sense about where they're going, how it appears they're implementing it. I think there are large technical questions and problems with how they are articulating it, but more so what they're not talking about is a huge problem. And I think, you know, that PR messaging and the things that they're hiding behind their back are going to cause a lot of problems for consumers. You know, at the end of the day, my expectation is that this thing isn't going to sell more than 9 million units, so that's fine. And I think those 9 million people are people who are already on Xbox and are part of their diehard community, and so that community is going to buy whatever Xbox tells them to, and they're non-discriminating and typically not very good at critical thinking, and so for those 9 million, it doesn't matter. The thing that's going to be a problem or a comeuppance for them is that 7 years after they buy this thing, and you go into the generation after that, they're going to wake up, you know, and realize that they're on the finale of Lost, and understand that, you know, they were actually dead the whole time, out on an island by themselves. Because at that point, they're going to be orphaned and abandoned. And the next path forward for them will just be the shift over to PC. And then this whole thing about game preservation and back catalog stuff that such a high value has been placed on, it's not clear how that carries forward from here if Microsoft gets out of hardware.
Yeah.
So there are questions that are not being asked right now that need to be asked so that you have an understanding of whether or not there is a forward progression arc to this. Because if this is just a deprecation and a Finex, that says something and that signals something. And the fact that, you know, the influencer community, I mean, you look at all the coverage of this thing, and you look at who was out at GDC. Paul Thurrott's not out at GDC. I'm not certain. I don't believe Brad Sams is out at GDC. I don't think Digital Foundry is out at GDC. There is an army of pro Xbox influencers and content creators at GDC.
That's gross.
And like and the notion that people don't see a problem with that the Xbox fans don't see a problem with that, like that, that just says volumes, right? About their expectations. I had a person, I wrote up, there was a person who had some good questions, and I amplified his questions and said, these are the questions that people should be asking, and I had a person respond, it sounds like you should have been out at GDC and asked those questions yourself. And I'm like, I didn't say it to him, but I'm like, I have a full-time job, right, and responsibilities at home. I'm not interested in going to GDC. If I wanted to buy a plane ticket to go to GDC, I could. I would actually prefer to not use my PTO and vacation to do that. Right? There are people who literally, it is their full-time job to cover this stuff. And if you go back 20 years, right, to when Gary Whitta was editor-in-chief at PC Gamer, in the days of Greg Viederman, Gordon Ma-Ung, right, Norman Chan, some of the greats at PC Gamer, Maximum PC, journalists would ask these questions. But we don't have journalists today, and we have people who throw softballs, and we have people who need access, and we have people who, like, the notion that these guys have access to not, like, the access doesn't do anything for anyone. Access is great when it gives you the ability to ask questions that benefit consumers, but these guys don't ask questions. There is literally a blanket smother campaign that makes it look like these guys are members of the Politburo and their commissar and the NVKD, the secret police, making sure that people don't ask questions and blanketing and pushing back on it like it just works. Nobody cares. Literally, we're talking about a hardware launch, and your response to people asking questions is no one cares. It is difficult. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I didn't realize I'd gotten into a sermon. It is flabbergasting to me for that to be the approach. Here's a great example. I'm so glad this is happening. It is a wonderful moment in journalism and a great social experiment to see that Apple has launched the MacBook Neo at the same time that Xbox is talking about Project Helix, and at the same time that Valve is talking about the Steam Machine. And you look at the radically different ways that fans of those brands are responding. You look at the Apple fans, and you look at the Apple influencers, and you look at the testing they're doing, the experiments they're doing, the information they're putting out, the Ask Me Anything approach to talking about the MacBook Neo.
The MacBook Neo is only $600?
Yes. Starting.
Dang.
And you look at the Xbox influencers who people ask questions and their response is no one cares. That's amazing to me. It ties my brain in a knot that would be the response. And I look at what the Apple guys are doing, and I look at what the people covering the Steam Machine are doing, and all the questions that they're answering. And it is amazing the difference. And part of my response to this person too was, it used to be journalists would ask those questions, but the problem is that today the Xbox journalists don't ask those questions because their communities and the people they serve don't demand it of them. Don't call them out. Because when Windows Central went and did a softball interview with Asha Sharma, everyone made a bunch of excuses why that was okay. And I'm like, this is what happens when you have people in quote unquote jobs that are supposed to be journalists who didn't grow up learning and understanding, William F. Buckley and Robert Morrow and Ira Glass and Walter Cronkite, right? And Tom Brokaw. Like they don't know the great journalists. They don't know how those people did their jobs. That's not who they're trying to emulate. They're trying to emulate Jerry Springer and Geraldo Rivera and Maury Povich.
Just want to say I am not the father. Just want to say that I am not the father.
And they're trying to make Windows Central the Inquirer.
Oh.
Or they've made Windows Central the Inquirer.
Oh.
right? And that's the quality of journalism we have. Will made a great
Gross.
comment the last time I was on. He said, we have the largest growth business on the planet, the most exciting domain, and we have the absolute worst journalism and coverage. And we deserve better. All of us deserve better.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Raichi, I don't hate Xbox. First of all, I will gladly look at an Xbox diehard fan who tells me that the moves they're making are great, like somebody who's trying to tell me that the brown water in their hand that smells like shit is chocolate milk. Like, it's not gonna work. And so that's where that little rant came from. If that's where you were coming in at or what you were responding to, none of us.
And I'll say that very point because I actually expected somebody to say that tonight. Here's the thing. I want to be very pointed and very clear on air in public when I say this. I have no problem with Xbox. I've owned every Xbox. I bought an original Xbox on day one. I have a Series X on my desk behind me in the computer room. On top of that, I have literally owned every Microsoft consumer electronic product in foray into the consumer space, except for the Surface Phone 2. I have owned a Zune. I have owned Microsoft Band. I've owned Microsoft Band 2. I've owned a Surface 7. I've owned dozens of UMPCs, dozens of tablet PCs, multiple 2-in-1s. I've owned Microsoft products that most people don't even remember. I own Microsoft Sideware peripherals for gaming. So let me be
I don't even know what that is.
Right. Let me be very, very super clear. I don't hate Xbox. What I do hate, and I will say this very clearly, I cannot stand at a spiritual level the content creators and the influencers that are around Xbox and have been an active participant in what they've done to the brand. I don't have any problem with Xbox. I want it to be successful. I'm on record as saying the worst thing that could happen would be if we have the third competitor exit the space. We will all suffer. So there's a lot of people who say Xbox can die, we'll be fine, we'll be great with PlayStation and Nintendo. I don't agree with that. We need a third competitor in this space to keep, prices are already spiraling out of control. It will get worse if we go to two competitors. I don't have a problem with Xbox. I have a huge problem with the people who have allowed Xbox to become a thing that is not good, doesn't make good products, doesn't give people the joy that they should. They service the needs of 30 million people that are about to drop to 9 million people. They do not service the needs of the greater good. And they're not helping. And for the people who aren't on the platform, which I want to reiterate, I'm not one. I am on the platform. I am in the ecosystem. They're making their lives worse by not having that competitor provide good competition.
100%. As a guy who doesn't own an Xbox, I 1,000,000,000% back up that sentiment. When Xbox was great and had a multiplayer, I got Killzone 3. Like, that was a hell of a game. I liked that game. I got that game because everybody was trying to figure out an answer to fucking Halo. Like, that's what everybody was trying to do. And every single one that came out is gone. That franchise is dead and gone. Halo owned it. Like, there are wins that Xbox has. There's a lineage that Xbox does have. There was a way for them to not screw it up. But it would have taken, like, we are about to go over into the Sony talk tonight, and the Sony talk about dynamic pricing and how much bullshit that is, and how anti-consumer I think that is, and how fucked up it is that you talk to your core audience, to people who buy your games the most, and you say, hey guys, we're going to charge you more because we know you're going to spend it. And people who were trying to get in the door, trying to get them hooked on our platform, trying to get them used to buying games digitally, we're going to charge them less. And then when they get to your status, we're going to go ahead and turn around and bait and switch their ass. I hate it. I think it is disgusting. And I was telling Henry, and I don't know if Logic was in the chat. Yeah, Logic was there. But I was telling those guys before this started that, like, it's literally the thing that's going to push me to go more physical than digital. And as y'all know, I've been more digital for the past year or so than I've ever been. But something like this is going to push me to go somewhere else And in turn, if other people say, you know what, I'm gonna bounce from digital because that store pricing crap I'm not okay with. Sony has to. They make the most money off of us when we purchase it digitally through their store. That's where they make the most money. They make the least amount of money when we go to a GameStop and purchase it pre-owned. Because they're cut out of the equation completely. One of the guys in the Discord said he's not really buying a lot of new games this year because his backlog is so big and all that stuff. And like, it got me thinking. I was like, damn. If a developer, publisher, whatever, pisses you off that much, you can literally not give them directly another dime off of their software. As long as they keep releasing physical. Anyways, back to Helix. Sorry, Hero. I take it damn near personally when I feel like people want to accuse of, especially people who I bring on the show, want to accuse them of being overly biased one way or the other. And so it's not cool when I get mad. I like to be extremely level-headed. Hero's like, nah, dude, I'm here with popcorn for the fireworks. Let's go.
He's ready here for the smoke, man. Get it popping.
So that is the stuff that really irritates me the most, because these companies, and without competition, where the fuck am I gonna go? Like, what, am I gonna go to Xbox? No. Why would I? They have, but then I lose out on the PlayStation exclusives. So why would I go? Like, that's the problem. Every time Xbox screws up, PlayStation has to do more and more and more to lose a player. Their leash gets longer. It gets more extended because where are you gonna go? You gonna go to PC? I mean, like, where are you gonna go?
Nintendo.
Sure. Yep.
Switch 2, baby.
Listen, after I've played Horizon Forbidden West, you want me to lose the ability to play a game that looks that gorgeous ever again? I can't do that. I can't afford to go PC, like, fully. Like, so where it gives them a leash. And so this is piggybacking a lot off of the statement that Logic made. We need them to at least be competent competition. I don't need them to reinvent the wheel. I just need them to act like they actually have a car that runs. That's it. That's all I need. Because PlayStation has to have that. I don't think they're going to fall and falter and die and PlayStation's going to start giving us shitty games. No, I just think they're going to start doing boneheaded decisions that people are going to let slide because it's like, well, it's PlayStation. I mean, can't really go anywhere else. What do I do? Just stop gaming? Well, no. Like, and if your convictions are that strong, then yes, I would always tell you to follow that. Don't just game don't game and be pissed off at the industry at the same time. Like, that's called hate gaming, and that's weird. We don't.
Hey, people do it.
We don't need to do that shit. Like,
people do it. Like, I see a lot of people who hate gaming.
Gosh, I don't get. It's like people. So, it's like people who watch podcasts just to argue. Like,
yeah,
wait,
bro, nah, I'm cool.
Hang on. If that's the point of the podcast, like it's a Q&A, it's a debate style, it's back and forth conversation, cool. But if, like, you're going there just to be an angry elf, that's not okay. Like, first of all, find a better release. Second of all, talk to somebody about why you have that much anger in your heart, preferably a pastor or a good friend. And then, after that, breathe. Like, you will live longer, I promise. Did you know that as you get older, your body doesn't process cortisol nearly as fast? And so because of that, cortisol raises your blood pressure, causes hypertension and stuff in your heart, and you can have a lot of problems with that.
Mm-hmm.
Watching something that's just going to piss you off, or engaging in conversations that are just going to piss you off, or engaging in a way that makes it seem like you're pissed off, like that, those aren't good things to do. Just saying. Just tossing that
you
out
just
there.
spoke some truth in that hit home with me right there.
Like,
That hit the house with the boy.
It's annoying. And go ahead, Game.
So if I can, I want to, because going back to the question you asked about their strategy, and I said strategy fine, implementation raggedy, right? And then some of the things Rachie is bringing up in the chat, which, look, I'm not picking at you, Rachie. I'm talking about a general trend in how this device is being discussed and the questions that aren't being asked, and capitalizing on your statement. You know, the PlayStation is a Linux box. And I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying there are a lot of people who are taking statements like that and just being willfully obtuse and publicly ignorant when things like that are said. Banking ATMs and cash registers run a version of Windows. When people say I want to buy something to game, I don't tell them to go buy an ATM or a cash register. So there's a wealth of, in my opinion, intellectual bankruptcy that's shown when people make statements like that. What we're talking about is a consumer electronics device, and then we are further talking about devices that are COTS appliances and are locked down and have a single configuration and serve a singular purpose, versus the multifunction general purpose desktop PC, which you can do basically almost anything on. Those are radically different consumer electronic products. We say things like, well, everything's a PC. And yet, when we put this in the real world of how things really function, a human being walks into a Best Buy. There is a section for video game consoles, and there is a section for PCs. The laptop PCs are on a table. They are separated from the Apple products, where there are Apple laptops on a separate table. There are desktop PCs lined up on an aisle, some of which include things that are similar to what Project Helix is going to look like. When you go to Amazon, there are separate discrete sections for gaming PCs and consoles. So we shouldn't, again, act willfully obtuse, publicly ignorant, and intellectually bankrupt by hand waving and saying they're all the same thing, when we literally have physical manifestations and digital manifestations of how those product categories are separated because human beings have been conditioned to think about them differently. And it's completely fine if a company wants to change that and flip that script. There is a way to do that. Look at Steve Jobs and look at the introduction of the iPhone, and watch his presentation. It's only 7 minutes because that clip, like, there's videos that don't just cover the first 7 minutes. Look at how many times on stage he says directly or messages that it's an iPod, a phone, and an internet communications device. And he says that line repeatedly, multiple times. He doesn't try and obfuscate. He doesn't try to hand wave. He doesn't try and gloss over it. He is firmly selling you a convergence device. And then he talks about why that's beneficial rather than what's going on now. So the thing you're talking about, it's a console. Here's the problem with and whether or not this thing makes sense to people, is going to make sense to people from an investment perspective, and why there's anti-consumer elements of it. There are things that we don't know. What we don't know is, right, so there are two facets to this system, two personas, to a system and a subsystem, a system of systems, however you want to look at it. There is a console piece to this, and there is a PC piece to this. What we're not clear on is whether or not the console piece to it is frozen in time, and whether or not that product line deprecates and ends with the Xbox Series X. And so the console piece of this thing, is it just a replacement for the Series X, or is it a forward compatible, progressive console environment that allows access to all of the technical advantages and new capabilities, such as multi-frame generation, that was placed on the slide today. Because that means developers are going to be able to craft a version of software that is deployed in a locked down, highly secure environment where things can't change, because changes in the environment is what developers contend with. That's why if you work in the real world, that's why there's such a thing called an enterprise environment, because we keep that environment locked and frozen so it can't introduce random off-vector wonky behavior. That's why there's enterprise integration, so that things are tested and work all well together. It is similar overlaying that in a console deployment environment. It's locked down. There's an expectation that things don't change. There's an expectation that things don't behave in a wildly random way that you can't predict. It's highly secure. People don't have access to that elements of that environment. So if it's forward progressive, then people can make an Xbox version of a game that is more capable than what you would see on the Xbox Series X and would be at theoretically parity with the PlayStation 6. It's a forward progressive console title. If that doesn't exist, that means that that console subsystem on that device just handles backwards compatibility. So now if I'm building a new game and I want to deploy it to that console subsystem environment, I am making a Series X version of the game. It is now essentially a cross-gen title. And because I think the market, there's people who are going to stay on their Series X, I decided that it's worth my time to roll a Series X version. And that Series X version will run both on Helix and it will run on the Series X. Now, here's the business case problem with that. You have developers who are deciding today that it's not worth their time to make a game for the Xbox Series X, and they're skipping the platform. So if that console subsystem on this box is just a frozen in time Series X and backwards compatible, you will have devs making the decision that it's not worth their time to make a console version of that game. Okay, fine. The forward progressive, the more capable, the thing moving into the future is the PC side. Great. Am I getting a GDK that allows me to, or helps in some way, either through automation or some other means, make a highly optimized version of my PC game to run on that target hardware environment? Because if you're not, then you're just one configuration among hundreds of thousands of PC configs that I have to optimize for. How much time am I going to spend optimizing for that hardware target? Well, let's see. It's not on an NVIDIA GPU, so it's not 95% of the market. It doesn't have DLSS, so it doesn't have the most advantageous upscaler to use. It's a wonky, weird, off-vector, customized, tailored version of an AMD APU sock, so it's not the most common hardware target out there if I'm going to spend time optimizing for Ryzen Radeon, or AMD APUs.
Now, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when you're optimizing for those, and so the PS6 and the new Xbox are supposedly both going to have custom AMDs with the FSR bullshit, and they're all only going to be on the same platform using the same stuff. I forget what it's called, but it's going to have the hang on, the rumor at least. Sorry, it's the AMD is making both chips, and I just read this earlier. That's why it popped in my head when you had said it. And I know that somebody's already done this.
So they're both RDNA 5 and Zen 6 or Zen 6C?
Yeah, that's it. They're both RDNA 5, and they're both on the Zen 6 core processors. So, if they're both running on, if they have both of those things in common, wouldn't it be developing for the PlayStation and then maybe downscaling or potentially upscaling to go to the other platform with maybe just a couple tweaks because of proprietary reasons?
No, there will be points of commonality, but there will also be vast differences. The main
And I know I
one
sound like
of
an
which-
idiot when I ask that question, so just
No. It makes absolute sense that you're asking the question. So the main difference is that PC games and Xbox games are coded on top of a abstraction layer called DirectX, and so that is a bundle of APIs that are used for your complex code to talk to lower level hardware, so that you don't have to code close to the metal or directly to the metal, and directly address those hardware components themselves. So basically, the system, the platform provider does a lot of that interpretation for you. PlayStation games are coded on top of I don't know what it's called. I call it the I forget it. I came up with a name for like the PlayStation custom abstraction layer, but basically it is a variant, I think, of OpenGL. It may be a variant of or they may be using also Vulkan at the point. But the point is that they code on something that is different than DirectX. And so this was one of the things about porting, right? When they port that game to PC, they're swapping out that abstraction layer. It's a different bundle of APIs that they're using to address hardware. Like that language interpretation, that integration, and that therefore that optimization becomes different. And that's part of the delta, and that's part of what drives the level of effort and how many engineering hours, right, need to go into accommodating that delta. So there will be some similarities. There are lower level instructions, I think commonly referred to as microcode. And so on the Intel side, I actually don't entirely know if AMD has anything special, but on the Intel side, they have historically, and this may have changed, but they have historically been called things like SSE1, SSE2, SSE3. And so there's been generations of that microcode. And so some of those things will be similar. But the abstraction layer to address like the GPU, the APU, things like that will be different.
Okay, that makes sense. That actually does make a lot of sense. Okay, so this is supposed to be able to come out, and it's all the promises they've made before. That's the funniest thing that people are pointing out. This is literally the same packaging. So, fun fact about me, I used to be a very angsty 20-year-old, and so I stayed away from YouTube. I was too good for anything social media. I stayed away from YouTube. I never have had an Instagram account. I was on Facebook, but then when it got super popular and like my mom got on it, I got off of it. I didn't really do anything with X, but then about halfway through the PlayStation's life cycle, you start hearing rumors of the PS5. You start hearing these rumors, and that's when Crap Gamer was a PlayStation fanboy. That's when Salty had his show. That's when I started listening to some of these guys on it. That's when I started listening to Crap Gamer before he went off the deep end. Like, I started checking out all these guys, and it was all about these new systems and this new hardware, and I loved it, and I ate that shit up. So I haven't been deep into the world, to the industry of gaming. So I really appreciate your explanation of that, because to me, I was like, well, if they're both being built by the same company, first of all, that to me is weird. I figured one would go with NVIDIA, one would go with AMD. I felt like it'd be weird for AMD to be working on both platforms at the same time. Conflict of interest, cross-pollination of ideas, even if you're on an NDA or stuff like that, or leaks can happen. Ideas can be borrowed from one project to another without necessarily meaning for that to happen. So like that was already weird to me. And then when you made mention of development time and all that, it got me thinking. So I really do appreciate your explanation. I wanted to know. I wanted to be ready. Same period. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it was the magical SSD mushroom. Hey man, we've already got T-flops listed, okay? We're back to that bullshit. But it's the same exact messaging from that time frame. And the usual suspects are freaking lapping it up. I can't even go to X right now because it just makes it's gross. It's just disgusting. Like I get on X and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like,
So I do just want to kind of tie off that dot, right?
Yeah,
So,
let's
so
go.
the reason why all that stuff
We
that I
got to
went
move on
through,
anyways.
yeah, makes a difference is because if like I said, if the console side is just ending with the Series X, then the question you need to be asking is great. So I'm going to buy this thing at $1,000 so that I can preserve my back catalog. Okay, what happens after that? Does the next thing that come after that have a console half? Or am I going to be told, well, if you want to play your old games, keep your, we have a product for you. It's called Project Helix. Which is the same thing they tried to say with Xbox One, right? Remember Don Matrick, he said, if you want to play your old games, keep your 360. But the other thing is that, and why I say there's elements of this that could be anti-consumer, is if your console side is just covering down on Series X and everything before, then what you're saying to me is you're asking me to pay $1,000 to $1,500 for this thing that you call a console because it has a console side and a PC side. But the only reason it has both of those sides is because you couldn't sell enough consoles to power your business. So now, on top of you telling me you're not subsidizing, now you're asking me to subsidize your business because you couldn't sell enough consoles to keep developers interested in making games for the console. So now you have to make this thing that is a Frankenstein and combines the console and the PC. Now, if I'm only interested in the future, and this is the new gamer question, which to me is, again, problematic. If this thing only covers down on backwards compatibility on the console side, why would a new gamer care about that? A new gamer's coming in saying, oh, consoles are over, the future is PC. Great. I'm all on board. I want to buy, an entry-level PC that you're going to sell to me for cheap. Yes, but in order to get that, you're going to have to buy this console thing. Okay, well, I don't have a legacy digital library, so, I don't give a shit. Yeah, but this is the only way. So you're effectively bundling the console and the PC side and forcing people, right? You're removing that choice from them to buy either standalone.
Yep.
So these are the reasons why people should be asking these questions, and so they should care. Now, if you're a person like I think Rachie is, I guess, who's already earmarked their $1,500 for next year and is already planning on spending that money, you don't need to ask questions because you're just going to buy whatever they tell you to buy.
Oh, no. No. That's not him. I do not see him buying this at all.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're not, then that's great, but then you need to ask questions to determine. Look, I'm asking questions because I'm a PC gamer. And if this thing is supposed to be less than an entry-level PC, I have questions I need to ask. There are things I need to understand about. Is there a reason why I should own this right in my lab rather than investing the money to upgrade one of my PCs? Because maybe it can replace them at a cheaper price. But I can't make that decision when I don't have the information that I need.
No, that makes a lot of sense, and it is one of the things that we're going to end on tonight for this topic at least. We do need more information. I'm excited, like Henry, to see kind of what comes next, but so far it looks like a lot of the same old. But as always, we will cover it. I don't cover as much Xbox stuff as I used to, but big console releases, stuff like that,
yes,
big
sir.
things that happen, big movements, I will go back to and we can talk about. All right, let's continue on. That was a great conversation. Wow. Let's continue on because I do want to go ahead and get into what I kind of dipped into earlier. And I want to start with Henry on this because I kind of been talking a lot already. And I feel like I'm talking over my guests, and I don't like that. But this is PlayStation Store testing dynamic pricing. This is from PS Prices. They have actually been tracking this since November. They track a lot of stuff, but essentially there is a price B test that's going on right now, which basically means and the way they're implementing it is that if Henry plays games and purchases 12 arbitrary number, whatever, $1 million worth of games a year, and I purchase $5 worth of games a year, Henry's going to get hit for $39.99 on Helldivers 2, and I'm going to get hit for it for $19.99 to try to get me into the market to spend money. That's the way I understand it. That's the way it's being presented. That's the way the models look like. It used to be where the U.S. was not included in this, and now they're saying that there are a few games for the US now. Marvel Spider-Man, God of War Ragnarok, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2. This is not just a third-party publisher, because my first thought was maybe the publishers are the one who's dictating the sale prices and blah, blah, blah. Nope, couldn't scapegoat Sony, couldn't help them out at all. They kind of screwed the pooch on this one. That's my opinion. My opinions do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of the two other panel members. So with that, Henry, what do you think about dynamic pricing implemented like this?
I don't. Well, obviously, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I would think if you have a customer who's, been loyal and spend money with you quite often, that you would, reward that customer with like a discount, coupons or what have you. And I think that might be also why a lot of PlayStation plans or PlayStation fans, not plans, with are looking at in a way, because you'll see an individual who is new, fresh off the block, and hasn't been with PlayStation, and they get a discount like that, $20 off, and as a loyal customer who's been since let's just say since the generation, you don't get that. You like, hold on now, this ain't right. I've been here. You can't shine a little light on me for a little bit, for a couple dollars or something like that. So I understand that, because my brother and I, if you use our service for a year, I mean for 2 years, we're gonna knock some percentages off. You wanna get a certain add-on, we'll knock some percentage off. If you're a customer and you constantly shop with us, we'll look out for you like that. But that aside, I don't like it. It's nasty. You know what I mean? It's nasty because I don't feel like PlayStation even need to do this. It looks bad. The optics of it look bad, and it's just one of those things. Like, it's like, why do this? Why? How much more money, or do you think you're gonna get by doing something in this way? It seems slimy. It feels slimy, and maybe there is some kind of business sense about it that make it. I don't know. I just don't agree with it. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it. I don't think it's a good idea. I feel you're gonna get sued.
Yes.
And I just feel like that you open yourself up to issues you don't got to open yourself up for. Just sell it for what you sell it for. When it Black Friday come, drop a discount. Days of Play, drop a discount. Do stuff how you been doing it. What's wrong with that? And especially in these times when it comes to all these price increases. Hey man, they got it. That's all. They got it, bro. I don't know. A lot of stuff I can't make sense of, because it don't make sense. Like, why would you do this? Like, whose idea was this? Who said, hey, let's do that?
So the bad part is, and I want to hear your thoughts on this too, because Josh I brought up those, like, a portion of those points in the Discord the other day, and Josh was like, but how will they know? Because, fun fact, we talk about gaming. We share the prices of games that are on sale that we're like, oh, dude, I played this. I spent $70 on this. Y'all can get it for $12. Go check it out. Like, we do that. The average gamer doesn't do that. They don't go to the PlayStation store and go, I wonder what Jim Bob Joe Ho down the street bought this game for and what they got it. Let me message them and find out. They don't care. They're going to say, ooh, 10% off. Yay. I like that. Let me buy that. Like, they're not going to know until maybe later on down the line. Oh, yeah, man, I bought this game a month ago. It was on sale. Oh, yeah, I got it on sale also. Yeah, man, $40 was a great price. No, 40. I got mine for 32. What do you mean 40? That's weird. What happened? But like, the general gamer won't know. And I think that's my biggest problem. You know what I mean, Henry? Like, I feel...
Yeah.
That's dirty
and that's true.
Crap.
That's true. But people the people who participate in the internet will know. Because I was on the Reddit. It was a little while ago, and it was a story about this specifically popped up on there, about the guy who was gonna buy a game or something, and then it was cheaper on his wife's account, and you know what I'm saying? It
Oh
had
yeah.
came out and got out, and it became like a pretty big thing. So the general populace won't know, but the people who participate like in the online discourse and who do all the tagging and or topics for the podcast and like word will get out. And just like, for example, when the Horizon upgrade situation happened, the general population might not have known about that, but the people that did know about that were able to cause enough of a fuss for it to, for it to be changed. You know what I mean? And it's just off the strength of the internet and at the rate that information can be exchanged and you can rally people together for certain things. Everything is, I mean, sometimes it just is what it is, but sometimes people are able to make enough of a fuss online to get stuff going.
And
Not saying that people will be able to do it with this, but it does get the word out.
well, and like me, I don't want to know that I have to keep looking over my shoulder to like it. It feels like they're handing you, like, I don't know, somebody walks up and hands you a coat, and inside that coat, like whether hand is underneath the like covered up, they like nick you a little bit and then give you your coat.
Mm.
It feels, it just doesn't feel good to like, because Josh is absolutely right. Josh is 1000% right. If this study had not been done, we wouldn't have known. It is because nobody else is tracking this shit. Like, we would have had no idea. But I also think of what this is going to start doing to channels. Like GameCross has a channel where 80% of his content, I think, is just going over the PlayStation Store sales. That becomes a very dangerous and inconsistent thing that you get to do if all the pricing is dynamic. And hey, guys, you might pay 12% higher, 12% low. Hey, guess what? There you go. Like, I don't know. It's bothersome to me, and it feels dirty. It feels like the reason why I left Sprint.
Oh, bro, I remember a Sprint, man. I had that back in the days, boy. God damn.
It feels like the reason why I left Sprint, because they'd get you in, they'd give you a free phone, they'd sign you up on a 2-year contract. After that 2-year contract was up, your phone on the next contract you signed was no longer free. It was now $120. And then after that, it subsequently went up every year. I got out after the second time it happened. I was like, guys, listen, I'm done. And I went over to AT&T, well, Singular at the time. But yeah, I don't like bait and switches. I don't like that feeling. I don't like the fact that the reality is that if a study like this wasn't done, we wouldn't have known. That sucks. That type of shit bothers me a lot. Like, it really does make me feel some sort of way about buying something digitally again. It just does. Like, and people can maybe say, well, you're overreacting on a yield, blah blah blah. Yeah. Listen,
And I do buy digital a lot more now off the strength of I use the portal a lot. And
right. It's
so ever since then, bro, I've been, hey, bro, catch me on the digital wave, baby, because I ain't gotta. Cause I was out of town. I never forget. I was out of town. This was before all the updates and stuff. And you could only, like, you ain't no changing games for real. You know what I'm saying? Cause whatever disc you got in there, that's what you playing. And if you want to play something else, you kind of SOL. But sorry to interrupt. I just put that off in there.
yeah. It's Logic. What's your thoughts on this, man? Yeah. Hello.
I'm probably not the target audience who is going to be impacted as much, and there's elements of this that I don't know, and can't. Like, there's not enough of a fabric for me to make good guesses about.
Okay.
What I've seen is that so I will say, at the risk of being excoriated, I will say I don't agree with the labeling of it as dynamic pricing. Today, it doesn't seem to be that. Dynamic pricing is when there's automation in place, like plane tickets, right? To say, hey, a hurricane has just hit the Dominican Republic, therefore, Curacao is now a more optimal vacation spot for this 1 week in time, and then therefore you see the prices on the tickets to Curacao go up. Right? So, quite honestly, gas prices are dynamic pricing, right? Crap goes down in the Middle East, gas prices go up because they know demand's going to go up. Hurricane Katrina gets hit. I mean, I got hit by this. Hurricane Katrina gets hit. Gas prices on the East Coast, right, go way up to the point where gas supply becomes scarce. So I was actually driving around to gas stations multiple states away from Katrina to just go to hit gas stations where gas wasn't available. And then when you do find it, it's high. So I don't feel like that's what's going on. An example of dynamic pricing would be, to me, in this case, would be we're weeks away from, I don't know, we're weeks away from Split Fiction coming out, right? Because we got the data back that said when Split Fiction was getting in the window, then what was their preceding game? It Takes Two. That game started to see like a big run on sales.
Mm-hmm.
So dynamic pricing would be something like It Takes Two is coming out. We see a big spike in sales. I mean, Split Fiction is coming out. We see a big spike in sales on It Takes Two, and the price on It Takes Two goes up. So, like right now, it seems like these are being applied to discounts, and they're being applied to discounts in a somewhat, I don't want to say randomized manner, but they're not based on demand, and they're discounts. So it's not that the price on the game is going up; it's that some people are getting steeper discounts. So I think the analogy I use or the trope that I said was like, look, if I buy a game for $10 and some other gamer buys that game for $6, the only thing that's going to make me feel is happy that other dude got a better deal. I just not like it's different if they're a game's launching and they're trying to get away with selling a game at $80, at let's say 10 states in the United States, but for the other 40 states, it's on sale for $70. That would make me feel a different kind of way. Right now, it seems to be applied to discounts. It seems to be being applied to older games. I haven't seen games where the prices are above like $25 where this is being impacted. So I just don't. So to me, right now, it's just not. It's not a big enough deal for me to be, making a big deal out of. It could get worse. So and if that happens, then that'll happen. Then, but right now, to me, it's not a thing I'm worried about or losing sleep over.
So let me.
Gotcha.
So I want to push back just a bit. I find it funny that I think Logic is one of the guests I push back on the most. I think he's the one that gives me the most pushback. But my pushback is that if I buy a game for $10 at Walmart and Henry and I meet up down the road, or you and I meet up down the road, week goes by, whatnot, I look at you and go, man, I just got this game from Walmart last week for $10. And you're like, dude, I got that same game from Target for $6. I'm not mad. I'm not frustrated. I don't care. You know why? They're two separate stores. They are competing stores. One sold it to you for a cheaper price, and the other one sold it to me for a more expensive price. Those are competing stores. So, I am okay with that. I'm not okay with the same store walking in and selling you something for $6 and then me coming behind you and getting it for $10 just because I shop there more than you.
So right now, today...
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. So this is my pushback to you. And so right now, today... And again, I don't... Like, I use the term pushback, but also understand, for me, this is an incredibly individual thing. Like, it either bothers
Sure.
you or it doesn't. So there's no way for me to really push back on people.
Oh,
that
that's
bother.
true.
I'm not saying you guys are not valid in how you feel about it, right? But my pushback to you is, right now, today, give me a name of a grocery store chain where you live.
Walmart.
Walmart. Okay. So right now, today, on the grocery side, you and I both shop at Walmart. You buy the same Cottonelle toilet paper every single time you come
Charmin.
in.
Go ahead.
Charmin. Walmart, who's tracking you, gives you a coupon for Charmin because you buy it. I don't get a coupon for Charmin because maybe I buy Cottonelle, and maybe I'll get a coupon for Cottonelle. Maybe I also won't, because maybe that upstream supplier, in this case the game publisher, says that they're not giving coupons, and that's all driven from the publisher side. So part of the reason it doesn't bother me is because some of these things happen today, and they're just not things that for me personally bother me. So, I mean, it is what it is.
No,
I totally get that it could become predatory. It could become manipulative, right? It could go high and right. It could be used for other nefarious purposes. I just, today, right now, I personally don't see that behavior or application in a way that crosses my threshold to where it bothers me.
So, Rachie and Josh combined have the answer to our problems. They need to bring back the $5 to $20 bin at Walmart, where you could go ahead and rifle through all the games and everything. I got so many DVDs and Blu-rays and video games going through that dang $5 bin. The big circle bin that they put out in the way that was always just a little too big for a cart to fit on both sides. Like, that thing was awesome. And then Josh said, where did he say it? We need to bring back the greatest hits / platinum, those ranges, those $20, $9.99 ranges. I remember it was always because everybody knows who's watched the channel any bit at all. I grew up dirt poor, so I literally always had to wait for a game to be a platinum release for me to be able to afford it. Or when Sony came out and started doing their like the $40 first party games, and everybody else was at like $50 or $60, that's when I would be like, well, cool, I get the games I want anyways for cheaper. This is great. But like, they do need to bring those two things back, and that does solve some of the problems, at least in my mind. Not really, but I love those things, and they should bring them back anyways. But it's not something that I want everybody to get pissed off about and angry and up in arms about. I do want to raise awareness to a lot of people, and I want a lot of folks to know about this. And if at the end of it they're like, I see your point. Not for me. Okay, cool. But like Josh said, if this study had not been done, we wouldn't have known. And I don't like that. I don't soapbox many things. I have soapboxed the oh crud, and now I can't even think of their name because I have the memory of a dang goldfish. The studio that got fired, got rehired, and then no, not them. That was the Hi-Fi Rush studio. That was Tango Gameworks. Not them. The Subnautica devs, who, like, that whole saga that went on, like, those are things that I will attach to because I'm like, that's dirty, that's interesting, that's whichever. This is one of those things where I'm like, listen, guys, this is pretty jacked up. Like, this has the ability to be gross. And for us to never know. Because after this, guess what? I don't know if we talk about it again. I don't know if anything is said about it again. I don't know if it appears in the news cycle again. This might be the flavor of the week, and people were trying to find reasons to throw darts at PlayStation. I don't know. But for this week, It's important that folks are informed about their money. I'm still a thrifty bastard. And so I buy digital a lot, and I've said this before because, man, sometimes if you catch digital right, those things they'll still be $25 in store, and you get them for $6, $7, $8. Or you get the trilogies, the bundles, and I love buying those. Like getting an Assassin's Creed 3-pack bundle or getting the Tomb Raider bundle. I love that stuff. Love it. Love that stuff. So seeing this, even if it's $5 here, $3 there, because that's another thing that people can come up with and go, it's not that much money. It's really this or that. You're going to spend it anyways on gaming, and they know that. And that's not the point. Anyways, we have to hold PlayStation accountable when they do stuff that we feel like, or at least that I feel like, is very slimy. Greasy. Yeah. There ain't no better word for it. I was trying to church it up. Ain't no better word for it. It's just anyways, that's that. All right. Guys, we've been here an hour and a half now. We got about 25, 30 minutes left. I really have been doing good, getting to bed on time, and have a whole routine right now, so I'd like to keep it.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Like, it's
man,
important.
Get that rest.
That rest, man. Get that rest. Wake up in the morning sometimes before my alarm. Sometimes. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? That's a day where you feel like you just start the day off winning because you're like, you know what? I didn't have to be yelled at by a damn alarm clock to wake up. That was nice.
Bro. You're ahead of the game, man.
All right, so here's the deal. Epic, the company that everybody loves, is increasing the price of Fortnite V-Bucks to help pay the bills. The cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot, the publisher says. That's the tagline, so automatically, remember, whatever this thing says right here, that's probably not the actual story. Just remember that. The cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot, the publisher says. Let's go down to the actual article. In a new blog post from the official Fortnite site, the studio announced the cost of running Fortnite has gone up a lot and we're raising prices to help pay the bills. Starting on March 19th, now that's the first side of the mouth that they talk out of. Starting on March 19th, the company will be offering fewer V-Bucks in each paid pack. This will also be adjusting the prices of its in-game passes and Fortnite Cruise rewards accordingly. Everything goes down. Prices stay the same. The amount you get for the price goes down. Okay? The long and the short of it, that's what happens. It happens across their V-Bucks packs, and it happens across their passes, and the people who are in the what they call it, the Fortnite Cruise, that went down from 1,000 to 800. So like there are things that are going down, and all the pricing is staying the same. So here's what this says. Despite the changes, Epic says players who currently have existing V-Buck gift cards will get the values printed on them when they were redeemed. That's fine. That's good. There'd be a huge probably lawsuit if they didn't do that. Last month, Epic Games announced that PC players spent $1.6 billion on the Epic Games Store last year, while Statista, not to be confused with Batista, estimates that Epic Games generated $6.21 billion in gross revenue last year overall. However, General Manager Steve Allison recently told Polygon that the Epic Games Store was marginally profitable due to a low profit margin and on third-party games and the fees paid to developers and publishers for its weekly game deal. That's the second side of the mouth that they're talking out of. So, second side is, guess what, kids? You have to pay more for your V-Bucks now. Guess what, parents? Have a good time with this. Your kids are addicted to all the flashy lights. We've done great. We've made the game amazing. We've added 35,000 different modes. You can do whatever you want to in our game. It is a playground of all playgrounds. Come here. Oh, everything fun and cool and exciting looking cost V-Bucks. Guess what? The price on those has gone up. And it's because we keep improving the game. That's the other side of the mouth. So it's either going to be they keep improving the game, or it's because of the Epic Game Store and it getting its ass handed to it by Steam. I started with Henry last time. I will start with Gamelogic this time. Man, Do you have any take on this whatsoever? Because I don't like this. I feel like I play Magic the Gathering, and I feel like this is what Hasbro does to Magic the Gathering players, where the rest of the company is failing, so they beef up the only product they have that's selling to make people pay for the other bullshit that they're invested in. So, what's going on? Am I reading that right?
It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me say what I'm thinking, and then we may walk it back right after we talk about it. Yes, but that's also what happens all the time, and do we expect anything different? Right, what I mean by that is, have prices on PlayStation stuff gone up since 2000, 2006, 2010?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is stuff on PlayStation? Why is price on PlayStation stuff gone up? A little bit because of it costs more, but also because of Sony TVs are no longer a big deal. Sony Bravias. Sony sold off Vio with their business division that was doing PCs. Sony used to make like a half dozen to a dozen different cell phone handsets. Now they make literally one. So the other parts of Sony like aren't doing great. PlayStation is the cash cow. What did Lin Tao say was the approach to greater profitability and greater revenue?
Milking us.
Further monetizing its current user base.
Milking.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, we've got an ARPU of $250 per person per annum.
All right.
So and that helps because it helps a platform be successful. Whereas Xbox has an ARPU of less than $50 per person per annum, and we see where they are. So, Xbox Game Pass has gone up. Why? Because it's the part of the business where they could raise prices. They couldn't raise prices on games. They wanted to raise game prices to $80, and there was a revolt. So they said, and it's not just Xbox, but this is a thing that gaming companies do. They keep telling people about that, because I sat on and listened in on a panel where this was being discussed. A common vector in the gaming industry, and this is well known amongst all of the players, is that they introduce something, players push back on it, they go quiet about it, they shut up about it, they bring it back a few months later, they call it something different, and everybody's okay with it. So they tried to push the boundary on the $80 games. That didn't work. They shut up about it. They came back and raised it. And they're like, okay, mofos, we're gonna raise prices on the thing that you do pay for, which is Game Pass. Congratulations, right? And I'm not saying that's just Xbox. Everybody does it, right? Everybody flipped out about free to play, and they stopped talking about it as much as just did it. And now free to play is the cash cow of the entire industry.
I remember when, God love my dad, thank God he's still alive. Like, him and I would talk back in during when gas prices were like $4 a gallon. And he always told me, he said, son, because I remember one day I called him and was like, Dad, it dropped down to like $3.25. That's awesome. It's getting better. And he goes like, son, I never want you to be okay with $3.25 for a gallon of gas. And I asked him why. And he goes, think about it. They have been conditioning you to be at $4, $4.25, $4.59, $4.50, but just a year ago we were paying $1.67. And so they raise it way, way high up and then bring it down a lot, considering that it was $4 a gallon, now it's $3 a gallon. And people are like, man, it could be so much worse. Look how good it is now. We're saving $1 every gallon. Yeah, but 18 months ago, I was paying $1.67. And it's kind of that same mentality. So when I see stuff like this, I do feel like it's the boiling frog scenario, where now that you've been in the water, and I will be completely honest, this could be just my bias and hatred against microtransactions that are pointed and aimed at children. Like, that could be where a lot of this is coming from, and that comes from me being a dad of 2 kids that know how to hold and play a PlayStation in my house. Like, so I will be completely honest, my bias might be coming through in that regard. but it definitely feels like a boiling frog scenario.
Like, isn't this what we hear like Amazon does frequently? Is they raise the price on something like a few weeks before like Amazon Day or whatever, and then you feel like the discount is some of this miraculous thing, right?
It's also what Kohl's does. Kohl's raises their prices like $5-10 above, and then puts a 60% discount on it.
Yeah. So look, I'm there's a part of me that says yes, not cool. Then the realist, pragmatist part of me, right, has to say, did I expect vbucks to be the same price forever? You know, and so like somewhere around there, like you got to. I mean, the real critical thing is, does it still provide the same value? You know, that's a question a Fortnite player, you know, has to answer.
Yeah, that's true. Henry, you got anything to add to this?
Yeah, I'll just say, you know, I don't mind when, you know, things increase or I have to pay a little bit more if I'm also getting a little bit more. That was one of my complaints with the plus increases, and things. You know, I was looking for, okay, you're gonna go up on me, you and get more money. What am I gonna get in return? And if I can, I guess in a way, find something to convince myself that I am getting some kind of benefit, like cloud streaming. I use cloud streaming now, so to me now, the increase is worth it.
Yeah.
But I don't. When it comes to these Fortnite bucks, you know, my son, I do get him for him. Like, you know what I'm saying, he do good on his report, and can I buy the battle pass? Can you buy me the battle pass? I'm like, you know what, you did well. You can get the battle pass. He don't ask often, so it's not something that over a period of time it end up being a lot of money probably, but I'm not gonna really be looking at it like that. And we obviously not getting that extra with it, but it's just something as a little treat reward for him, because I don't play Fortnite. I don't buy the stuff for myself, and I don't mind rewarding him with that when he does well. But yeah, just to like for the price of no other stuff that has gone up in like with PlayStation. If I can find a reason that makes it worth it for me, then, you know, I can convince myself to not be annoyed with the price increase.
Yep. It's I guess that makes sense. I've been justifying because these little assholes keep giving me one game every other month that keeps me resubscribing to freaking PSextra.
Yeah.
I can't hide it. I didn't have Plus for like 6 months last year. This year, they've been hitting me with. They got me with Cyberpunk, so I'm in there now. So now I'm justifying paying whatever the heck it is. And now they got me on 3 months because I got a deal a couple months back on it. And so I bought 3 months. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was going to get rid of it. And now Space Marine's coming out. Persona 5 Royale's coming out.
You get to play Space Marine too.
Hey, listen. Corey said it in the chat earlier. Buy them day one or wait long enough until they're on deep sale. And I waited long enough on this one. I just get to play it in the subscription.
Yeah, you came up. You came up right here.
There it is. And this gives me another opportunity to false start Persona 5 Royale. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But, like, I get it. And maybe, like I said, guys, I have a deep-seated hatred for things that I think unlawfully and willfully target children. That type of stuff bothers me. And Fortnite is not as bad, but they are ones. Epic did get sued for the ghost thing, where like the X was hidden, and like if you tried to click on it, you'd end up purchasing. Like they got sued for that. Roblox gets sued all the time, and people keep trying to open up cases on them all the time. I don't like microtransactions in games that children play. Now, that's me. But let's move on. I have one more topic I want to get to tonight. And guys, if you have not yet, hit the like button, subscribe if you're still here. That means you like putting up with me. or you just like hanging out. I'm okay with either, to be quite honest with you. And here we go. Let's see. Who said favorite game? Listen, I will continue to say unlawfully as long as these companies keep getting sued. Like, like if NetEase or Netmarble or whichever fucking mobile company it was gets sued because they have shadow buttons or whatever the hell it's called, like, guess what? That's unlawful. That's why they're getting sued. I can't, like, hey, I can't. It's just, it is what it is. Also, I am not a journalist. I get the ability to say what. No, I'm just kidding. Somebody's gonna clip that. He says he gets to say whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Catch a defamation.
Catch a defamation. All right, so listen to this. We got Blasphemous 2. We got Return to Moria. Those are the two bad ones on the list. Okay, and Blasphemous 2 is not bad. It's actually a side scroller. Get in that thing. If you want some hard combat, go have a blast. Then you get Metal Eden. Okay,
Fire.
that's a game I played the demo for. Kind of got into it, and then Cyberpunk took over. Like, that's one that Henry I know beat, and It looks pretty good. It's another about 6-hour game, 7-hour game. And did you say that it was made by the same people who did Ruiner?
Ruiner, yep.
Yeah.
By the same people.
Okay. So I'm already in there like swimwear on that one. Then you got Madden 26. Now, mind you, I could not believe that a Madden football game is inside PlayStation Plus. That's a fucking trip. Like, I don't know.
Trip, actually.
Have they not been coming to PS Plus because they show up on EA Play and Game Pass usually right around the Super Bowl.
No, this is the first time, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time a Madden's come. We've gotten NBA 2K.
Yeah.
But they've never gotten Madden, and they've gotten like a cricket game, I think, or something like that. Like, sports games on the PS Plus catalog are so non-existent.
So do we think, again, going back to Lynn, do we think this is part of the plan?
Probably.
Like, hey, we get Madden in there, other games of that ilk. Mm-hmm. More people will sign up for PlayStation Plus. We're monetizing our individual MAU greater. That increases revenue, increases profits.
That's correct. Like, I do think that this is, because I saw that and I was like, dang, that's the first time we have gotten Madden as part of PS Plus. I didn't do any research because, like, I thought my memory on that was pretty good. But and I'm on there right now. I am actually looking at their sports genre for PS Plus, and it's literally in things that we would actually consider like sports games. You have cricket, you got AO tennis, you got a PGA Tour Golf Masters game. That's the EA golf game, and not the Tiger Woods one. Then you do have PGA Tour 2K25. You have Rugby 2K25. And that's it as far as like what somebody would think of when they think of ball and glove sports. And so to see that kind of threw me because I was like, that's pretty cool. I no longer have to pay full price for my roster update every year. That's fun. That's
pretty tight.
Like, that's good. That's real good. And then the two headliners, which, wow, they are two very big headliners. Persona 5 Royale, which on that game, I'd love to be the guy that says, you know what, it's been out, it's been on sale, it's been $5, it's been $8. If you've already played it, you've already played it. Or if you've already wanted it, you've already played it. But honestly, that's not the case. I find games all the time that are on sale for $5 that I've never touched. And so that's a big get. And it's the Royale Edition, which is awesome because I think the last one we got was just the Standard Edition. And so, yeah, like Josh just said, P5 has actually been given away on PS Plus before. Uh, but yeah, that's exactly, yeah, Royal hasn't. And so whenever you talk to somebody who's in the Persona 5 community, there's a lot of them. They'll let you know. Just ask. They're a little shy and timid. They will tell you though that Persona 5 Royale is the best way to play it. Persona guys are a lot nicer than your Final Fantasy guys. Final Fantasy guys, they're like the Ultimate Fitness. What the hell's that shit called? CrossFit guys. They're like the CrossFit people. Those are your Final Fantasy guys. The other ones are the guys who work out at Gold's Gym, and you never hear them talk about working out, but they're always jacked everywhere they go. It's kind of Persona. It's the Persona fan base. But so there's that game, and then Space Marine 2.
Excellent.
That's the big one. I don't know about y'all, but this might be the best list that I have seen. Damn, ever in a really long time. Like,
Yeah, it's a super good list. Super good list.
damn, like Henry, I know you've played most of these, or ones that you would have wanted to play. You've already touched,
Yeah.
but the seeing them here, like, and you don't really get rid of games either, do you? You either buy them digitally or you own them physically and you keep them, right? You don't do the trade thing, do you?
Nah, I don't. Well, I traded what it was. Persona 3. I traded that one, but yeah, usually when I got some, I keep it. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, overall, this is an excellent list. Space Marine 2, Certified Hood Classic, Metal Eden, awesome game. Blasphemous 2 is a game that I was I was like on the fence about. One of the homies, Elbethium, he enjoys the game. It was the first one. I watched some video footage of him playing, and he spoke very highly of it. And I think that one at one point was on Plus also. Uh, I have to look and see if I claimed it or not, but um, people do overall speak highly of that game. And I think over the this is over the last couple of months where people were kind of, meh as far as the offerings, I think this is an excellent list right here. They went to work with this one. Space Marine 2 by itself though, that would have still made it a A for me, even though I own the game. I know some people who, like you know what I mean, you wanted to check it out,
But
but
to
you
say, I
just
am the
didn't.
people.
Yeah, you are the persons. Um, and so you get the opportunity to check it out and experience the greatness that is Space Marine 2. Oh man, the game's so tight, man.
I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, I
Logic,
think you enjoy it.
what about you, man? Any of these say, hey, Logic, try me?
No.
Wow,
I
wow,
mean,
No.
wow.
I think the list. I think the list is great to find. Find great. I don't do subscription services on Xbox or PlayStation. So
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
the only one I'm signed up for is Nintendo Switch Online because it allows me to play legacy games that
Yep.
are for systems that I never owned.
Yep.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah, I do
Yep.
remember you saying that. Yeah, I remember you
Yep.
saying that.
That's totally my bad. That's not remembering my guest tendencies. That's my
oh
fault.
no, it's a good topic. I mean, because you never know, like something like this could come along, and I could say, oh, it's time for me to like get back in the pool.
That's true. I mean,
But no,
and to be fair, you have done that before. Not with subscription services.
no, but for other stuff, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, certainly. And look, I mean, I think it's a good topic to keep coming back to because subscription service revenue was on the rise last year, right? A lot of people started getting
Yeah.
kind of priced out of buying new games. I have always said, the thing that's super strange to me, quite frankly, is the low cost of the Xbox Series S plus Game Pass plus you just don't have to think about it, particularly if you're buying a console for a child. should have kind of lit the world on fire. I really don't understand why it didn't stick in the consumer space. So, by the same token, the PlayStation 5 digital at is it still at $399 or has it gone up?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the price of a PS5 in a long time. Like,
right. Yeah. So it's either at the same price or less than the price of a Nintendo Switch 2. You buy that plus PlayStation Plus Premium. That's a viable way to be in gaming and not be spending an arm and a leg. And the disadvantage, right, is if you buy a Nintendo Switch, there is no commensurate service that gives you access to newer games coming out, right? The only thing you're getting access to is legacy games, which so that will appeal to some consumers, but it won't appeal to others. So no, I think it's a fine topic. I just don't have a huge commentary on the games.
No, that's totally fine.
That dropped in the service.
Did you have you played Space Marine 2?
I have Space Marine 2 on PC. Yeah.
Oh, what you think about it?
It's great. Like I love it. It's very similar notes to what people said at the time. Like it's a return to kind of the Gears of War style of gameplay, but I also love it because it is straightforward. Like, look, I'm not a puzzle person. Thrifty knows I've been playing a lot of JRPGs and stuff. I hate puzzles. Like if I have a bet, I don't know if it's a condition, but I have a thing like if I don't figure out a puzzle like in the first minute and 30 seconds, I start falling asleep.
Oh man!
And I'm just like F this. I've gotten much more prevalent to just going to a guide. I will out myself. Metroid Prime 4. I'm playing that game because I love the combat, and I love the traversal, and I love other stuff. If I hit a puzzle and like I said, I don't figure it out in 90 seconds, I'm not being bothered with it. Like I'm not playing that game for the puzzles. So, and I love Space Marine 2 for that reason, right? It's just straightforward. Yeah. It's gritty. It is, kind of like again back in the Xbox days of Gears of War, Halo, Forza. It's it's aggro gamer, blowing stuff up, lots of blood. I like it.
Excellent game right there. Oh my goodness,
I'm excited. I have actually been.
Yeah, you got to get involved in that thrift.
Well, I've been playing on and off Cyberpunk because now that basically I have hand tied myself to finish games either in my backlog or as part of the service because I have Pragmata or Saros coming out at the end of April. Then at the end of May, I have Ace Combat 8. Then there's another game coming out in June that I can't remember the name of now. And I think, I have Wolverine in September. And so and then my 40th birthday is in May. And so my wife already told me, hey, we're doing a big thing for that, so don't do anything, don't be spending a lot of money. So I'm making sure that I'm maximizing. Plus we're about to be going on a trip, Henry. You know that we've talked about that. We're about to be going on a trip, so I'm I am maximizing my opportunities here. And so with with Space Marine, that's going to carry me on through. That'll give me another game. Figured it out earlier because Wara mentioned it in the chat. I said last year that I wanted to beat 12 games. I think I only made it to 10. This year, though, I am on track because I beat, even though I played the first 30 minutes of it in 2025, I did play the rest of it and beat the Lego game. As my first game of 2026, and then I beat. Shut up, Henry.
Oh, hey man, do you, brother?
Be nice. That's all I was to say. I did it because, funny enough, the gameplay was really fun, and I was in a really zany space at that time. But I did it, and it was great. So I beat that. I then went over to Horizon, got caught up in that, and then I beat Ruiner. So as long as I can get Cyberpunk done this month, I will be 3 for 3 in my goals so far. So and then Space Marine will take me to 4. So
Right.
That's great. I like feeding.
We on the same track. Last year I had a goal of 30, and I only got to 29. So
Oh, so you just missed it.
I just missed it, and
Mm.
cause I, like a fool, I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it ended up being longer than I thought it was gonna be. Um, but and then this year I've been like in a Ubisoft kick, so
I'm
the
sorry, they
last
make
game I
medicine for
beat
that.
was not, bro. Breakpoint was hitting, but I don't care what nobody say. That joint was,
Go ahead.
and so I knocked that out, and then Marathon came out, and I just been on that, and I don't know. I think Crimson Desert gonna be my game for the month, and I'm gonna have to pick up the pace because I definitely want to hit 35 this year, and at the
Okay.
rate I'm going, I'm not going. Uh, but that's the goal.
Yeah, and with the games coming out this year, and a lot of the games that I've been interested in being like sub 15 hours, I can probably get a few more in this year. Last year, I ended up beating several games that I spent over 40, 50 hours in. So, like,
Yeah, them be the ones.
oh man. And now I've started off the year, I have 40 more hours into Horizon Forbidden West, and I still haven't beat that game. I clicked over 100 hours in that game now total, between both saves. And then with
Shit.
Ruiner, that was like 6.5 hours, 7 hours, I think. That was a fun game though. I played that extra also. I played another like, so I have been jumping because I always go back to Nex Machina also. It's one of my favorite like time killer games. Uh,
The one that came out last year.
no, Nex Machina was one of Housemarque's like older games.
Oh, I'm tripping. I was thinking the
It's an arcade style twin stick shooter.
I
It's
know what you're
just
talking
fun.
about. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I know what you're talking
I
about.
haven't beat it yet. I keep getting to the last level and dying, but that'll be one I hope to cross off my list this year because you have to do it all in one run. You can't like there's I don't at least I haven't figured it out if there is. There's not a way to save it. You have to do it all in one run. You have to save all the humans or you have to save the humans in one run and not die and like so it's difficult for sure. I thought I had beaten it the other day and I just there was another level and I got wrecked. But
It happens, man. It happens
he
to the
says my
best of us.
mic is peaking. That's not good. Bump that
So can
down.
I mention one thing? Because I feel bad because I feel like most of the capitalist corpo bullshit I've said I didn't have a problem with tonight. So I do want to mention because you mentioned Ace Combat 8. I since I broke out Microsoft Flight Simulator earlier this week, I was really looking at picking up Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on the PlayStation 5. And then, of
Uh-huh.
course, like you mentioned, Ace Combat 8 is coming out. Can we do something about the fact that literally that the only flight control system and HOTAS that's compatible on the PlayStation 5 is the Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS 4 or whatever, which has been out for like, I want to say like 20 years. I know that's hyperbole. It hasn't been out that long, but like has been out like forever. Like, and with Flight Simulator getting to the PlayStation 5 and Ace Combat, like how are there no other flight sticks that are compatible with
My
PlayStation?
boy's over here like I want my peripherals and I want them now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's like half. That's 51% of like how I game, how I game.
I do.
You know?
I have been contemplating getting a flight stick, and I will guarantee you, if they have the VR mode, and I have to pony up the money to get the VR2 system, it will be guaranteeing me to try to find a compatible flight stick. Because at that point, y'all might see a photo of me in a full ass flight suit with the full mask on just because I want to. Like you just
All right.
I ain't mad at it. Get it off. Get your stuff off.
you
I
don't,
have a God, I don't know if even I have it on the current Twitter account, but like I have. So one of my Halloween costumes one year was like an old like World War II like flight jacket and a scarf and the leather caps that they used to have. So I think this was when I was live streaming. So I had that costume with my VR headset on, right? Because I was playing some flight game in VR, Yeah.
That's so
No, I
good.
feel you.
Living
Yeah,
life.
but
Like,
that's like
listen.
literally, and I agree. Warwana says in the chat, Thrustmaster is a great brand. All I have two wheels and pedals. Both of them are Thrustmaster. Yeah, I mean, they are my go-to brand for high-end peripherals. The only thing I don't get from them is game controllers. I use the 8-bit do Ultimate Wireless Controller 2 on PC. But like that Thrustmaster T-Flight is the only thing that's compatible with PlayStation, and I'm like, we gotta do something about that.
Yeah. I am. I am so hyped for that game. Anytime somebody mentions it, I just smile for like 10 minutes. Like it's just, I am so happy because there was a point where I remember going, huh, Bandai Namco's not doing that good. I wonder if they're still working on Ace Combat because they
Now,
went silent.
Are you getting that on PlayStation 5 or are you gonna get it on PC?
No, I'm gonna go P5 for that one.
Okay.
You can get it on both.
Just
A true fan will get it on both.
Two reasons.
And buy a new stick to go along with it.
I need a.
Yeah,
Here's the deal.
brother.
I need, for one, to see how it runs and what the specs are, because I don't know if y'all know this, but Ace Combat 7, literally bricked my PS4 Pro. It's
Oh,
not
shit.
bricked it. I was able to fix it, but it would shut it off continually because of thermal. The heat would rise too much because the thermal paste and the the freaking liquid shit that you have to put between the little plate on the motherboard. Anyways, I watched a video. I figured out how to fix it, got it all fixed, and then I played Ace Combat 7 for a couple more months, and it did it again. And so, like, it would
Oh, shit.
cook the PS4 Pro because of the weather systems in it. Whenever you flew into the clouds, the rain and the cloud dynamics that they used, and like all the weather physics they used, literally would bog down. It would bog down performance and ramp up the fan on the PS4 Pro. It was awful. The thing sounded like a damn jet engine trying to take off. It was bad. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on the game. I'm excited about that. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that is the show. Thrustmaster's a good brand. My flight stick is Mad Cat Cyborg X Fly. Mad Cat still existed in '09. I guess that's right. Yeah.
So here's a really crazy thing. So Mad Catz bought Cytec, and then Logitech bought Mad Catz, but they only bought the engineering and design part of it. Like the brand name still exists. So Mad Catz, the brand, has actually been purchased by a Chinese company, and you can actually go to a Mad Catz site and see where they're doing peripherals. And like they've expanded. Like now they're doing like mouse and keyboards and other stuff on PC. So it's been a very interesting lineage.
Oh man, thought they fell off, but nah, they got bigger. Shout out to Mad Cats, man.
Yeah, I thought they done disappeared.
I ain't seen a Mad Cat controller in centuries.
No, they used to be. They used to be like the cheap one. Like it's like if you wanted another controller, but like the first party one was too expensive, you get the Mad Catz, and
Yeah,
that ish would last for like 3 months and then break.
Yep.
So when they bought Cytec, my heart was hurt because Cytec was like a high end, like flight control system manufacturer, and I was like, oh, these are gonna fall off. And then Logitech bought them, and I said it's gonna get worse. But actually, Logitech has really bought those Cytec peripherals back and just called them Logitech G and paired them with their software. So it's actually still really good stuff.
So,
sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I was gonna say something and then I got sidetracked in my own head. That's fine. It's happens more than you realize. Somebody private messaged me on Discord and I opened it up, read what they said, and my brain lost the entirety of the conversation because that's what happens to my head. Mad Catz. Yes, I was going to say this. My favorite controller from back in the day, and I wish I could find it again. I think I've looked for it once before, but it was a PS3 controller, and it had fans in the, I guess handles is what you would call it. And it was epic. I loved this dang controller so much because when I would play these games, I would just be in my room gaming for hours upon hours. And I had to have, like, my hands would get sweaty, and you'd always, especially because if my brother and I were playing sports games, oh my god, I was so dang competitive. Him and I, like, I was so sweaty as a kid. So sweaty. And so, like, I needed something to keep my hands cool. And that was my favorite controller design. I wish they brought something like that back, but I doubt they can, because the controller didn't last for shit. But it was such a cool controller. And I think I got it because I couldn't afford the first party one, and it was the only aftermarket one that they had at Funko Land at the time. And so I had to get that. But anyways, maybe we'll do a segment here in a week or so on what our favorite controllers were and why, but you can't pick first party. We'll see how far back in the well we can go. All right. Rachie said Eve with the glasses has activated some neurons. That's funny. Yeah, if you notice, I put her either in her normal outfit or I dressed her up like Rogue. And basically I played as Rogue the entire game. Because it was fun. And I thought that'd be good. Anyways, Logic, where can the good people find you?
I'll be around. I'll be trying to be on here once a month, or you can catch me on the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, Braps Podcast, weekly.
Also, he has his own channel called Rounding Off Infinity, where he's doing pretty well for himself, having about 360, 370 subs. That's pretty cool. Go give him a follow over there. He's super smart, really intelligent, explains shit on a level that I can understand, which means you'll be great. Like, awesome. Also, if you want to hear him talk to some of his other buddies, he has a spot on the Enough to Keep Going podcast. Go check him out over there. It's very much like this one, talking about just the industry, the stuff going on. They get a lot more technical than I do because, well, once again, they are smarter than me. The links are in the description, so all you have to do is go to the description of this live stream, and both of his links are there. One for Enough to Keep Going, and the other one for Rounding Off Infinity. When my guests don't plug themselves, I plug them anyways. Henry Heck, what about you, man? Where can folks find you?
You can find me on YouTube. It's just Henry Heck. You can find me on Will Triple 7JP channel every Tuesday on the Just Playing live stream. Sometimes I'm also on his Sunday show, The State of Gaming with him and Nelson. Sometimes I'm over here on the Thrifty show, you know. And yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Also, it's just Henry. No, it's just Henry Heck. I'm sorry, on X, and that's pretty much it. And also in the Discords, of course.
Yeah, man. And both of his links are there, and I am actually in the process of adding that other link for Will's channel as well, because you can find him rotating in and out over there also.
Yes, sir.
So, gonna get that put in here real quick. That way we have both of those in there, and that change is done. But yeah, guys, check out both of these people. They are amazing. Great people. They did phenomenal tonight. Thank y'all for coming on. Chat,
sure.
Thank y'all for being
here.
having
me.
Hey, man. I love having you on here. Your perspective is from a different side of the gaming world than me. I keep my toe in the section that you dip yours into, and that's kind of cool because you keep your whole self in the section that I dip my toe into, if that makes sense. And yeah, you play more single player games than me. You know what I mean? Like, you're all about those games as a service, though, and I like getting that perspective from you.
Yeah, I dig them.
And so, yeah, that was. I realized as after I said that, I was like, that sounds like I'm slighting him or saying he don't play single player games, and I know that's
no, man. I don't take it away. Come on now.
But all right, guys. Bot fanboyism. Cool. I will go annoy him with my bot fan. Rachy, man. That's funny. Oh, that's great. Okay, guys. With that, with bot fanboyism, we'll go ahead and end the show. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will catch you on the next one.
Peace.